Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 12 of What If Naruto Had the Ultimate Nature Bloodline. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Legendary, Neglected Uzumaki over Anime King, and enjoy that guys. And also, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Abandoned and Awakened a Genkai. So go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, a lot of team had gathered. A lot of them had made it through. As Kabuto was supposed to give up in this round, but he was there to watch. His master gave him another objective to handle. As Kabuto stayed behind, as he did not say anything. The first match was Menma versus the boy from Kumo. As he went down there all arrogantly, thinking that he had a chance. But he stood absolutely no chance at all, as Menma ended the match with a single punch, and he was out like a light. The others then took their place down there, as Sasumi passed through along with Sasuke. Gaara was supposed to face Kabuto as Gaara wanted to kill him after Kabuto surrendered, saying that he was not in a good shape to fight. As Kushina and Tsunade were there, cheering on Naruto and Menma. Menma earlier had spoken to Naruto, as Naruto had told him about what was happening to him. And Naruto refused to tell anyone because he didn't want to be a bother. Sometimes he can be so selfless and not care about himself. It pissed Menma off as Menma punched him across the face, knocking him down. As he told him if he did not say anything, he was going to say something. They will find a way to sort this out. He would not stay like this forever. It doesn't matter what they do, they are a family and they would fix it no matter what. As Menma told him that he didn't want to lose him. As Naruto simply smiled, as he told him not to worry. The rest of the matches went on, as Kurosaki went down there and faced off against Hinata. The girl had hardened her body with stone and he was able to outpace Hinata and won the match. Yujito faced off against Kiba as she completely dominated Kiba, ending the match within seconds. Kiba did not stand a chance. As the final match in roll around, it was Naruto versus Lee. As Lee was a lot stronger than most people thought. Just because he used pure taijutsu, Naruto and Menma heard about him when they were diving into different arts of taijutsu. A mini clone of Guy. Still, they never asked Guy for any taijutsu tip, because Tsunade was there. The brute strength behind different movements from their father, and their movements rely on speed and flexibility, not just brute strength. Even though they had the brute strength. As Naruto and Lee started to clash down there, Lee was faster than Naruto thought as he removed his weights. But still, Naruto was keeping up with him. But when Lee kicked up into high gear and entered the gates, Naruto had to drop one of the seals on his body, as Menma noticed that. As Naruto had a lot of seals that weighed him down, and throughout the entire fight he was holding them. And when he dropped it, Lee stood no chance even in his gate, as the both of them clashed violently around the arena. As Naruto was able to gather the chakra into his palm and slammed his hand on Lee's stomach, with so much force the ground obliterated, nearly destroying the entire tower. As everyone was shocked by this display of strength, Yujito and Kurosaki were unnerved because he did not use any ninjutsu. And despite having those eyes, well, they need to find out more. As Lee still stood up as Naruto turned to kill him, as Naruto felt bad. He felt terrible after seeing that Lee was unconscious. The reason why he felt so terrible was because Lee stood back up after that devastating blow. It made him look weak, and there was not the voice in his head Usually there was his voice, his subconscious telling him not to go too far, but at that very moment there was none, as he couldn't even feel the pain because he tried to feel it. He couldn't feel it as Minma noticed that as Kushina came down there, seeing that he was not moving as she escorted him back up to the arena, but he smiled at her and told her he was fine. Some time passed after that as the Kazekage Raza, Gaara's father, was put down by none other than Orochimaru. The Kazekage refused to team up with him to take on Konoha, so instead he would have to take his place and convince his people. Yes, that is exactly what he was gonna do. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So to be this new episode, the council room was filled with all the members, including Baki, as new turn of developments had just opened up to them. Something that shocked them what their Kazekage told them in the meeting this morning. The man once again hid out. The guards that escorted him, he said that he was ambushed, and the guards died in battle. Their bodies were destroyed. The man came back rather normal. It was the Kazekage, but the man told them that they were going to join with the hidden sound to declare war against Konoha. Baki could not understand. Recently, things has been going well. Given the fact that Kumo and Stone were enemies of Konoha, Minato has been strengthening the alliance between all the nations that Konoha was allied with. That is why the hidden stand was open up to more variety options, because lately the Wind Daimyo has been sending some mission requests towards Konoha and Minato to show a good deal of their partnership, of their alliance. Told the Daimyo that the sand could handle it. The man was generous enough to do that, and the Kazekage Raza had respected him for it and spoke high praise of the man, as the sand and the stone and Kumo never allied before. So this news was rather unnerving here that the man wanted to attack Konoha. That is why, in secret, all the council members gathered. As all of them were silenced, none of them were wished to say it at first. None of them wanted to say something that would show them as a traitor to the village first, but all of them knew why they were here. A woman, a old woman, her name was Lady Chiyo, spoke up. "We all know why we're here," she said, "and I'm not afraid to say it. The Kazekage has gone mad." It doesn't make any sense as she looked towards all of them. The relationship between Konoha and the Sand has been developing quite greatly, and now he wants to start a war against Konoha, especially against the Yellow Flash. As much as she hated to say it, there was absolutely no ninjas in the Sand that could face off against Minato and live. Absolutely none. She wouldn't say that out loud though, but they all knew. They were all thinking the same thing. "I agree with Lady Chiyo," said Baki. "Something is wrong. The deaths of his guard and these new movements around the Elemental Nation. The information is spot on, but something is wrong." "Are you trying to say that the Kazekage is not who he seems to be?" Another member asks. It was Chiyo's brother. "I do not know what to say personally, but this makes absolutely no sense. If we join with the hidden sound, it doesn't matter the both of us join up. Konoha will not fall. Recently, it has been shown. I was at the Chunin exams. Konoha ninjas are getting stronger and stronger, and they are our allies. The relationship was sturdy just a few months ago. Raza was speaking dearly of the fourth Hokage for all the continuing support to strengthen the alliance, and now he wants to start a war, especially with the hidden sound, an unknown village that just popped out of nowhere. The land of rice was never populated with ninjas before. If they were, their ninjas were weak because they were never a part of the listing, but now their ninjas have grown so much that they joined into the Chunin exams. None of them passed to the final rounds, and we must join them, put our faith in them to help us destroy Konoha. This is ludicrous. If this happens, I assure you the sand will fall. We have strong ninjas here as well," a woman spoke up. "That is not the problem, Lady Ibaku," another man said. His name was Arashi. "This problem is, this sudden attack makes no sense. And I'm sure that he has not informed the Wind Daimyo. The Wind Daimyo at the moment is currently not fighting with the Fire Daimyo, so it makes absolutely no sense. And the Wind Daimyo had come to respect Minato. So for us to start a war with an unknown village, to ruin our reputation with the village of the Hidden Leaf, it would be nothing but nonsense. Well then, we all agree the Kazekage will not be allowed to give this authority on. If that is the Kazekage, said Baki. They all turned towards him. I have noticed some strange, small, subtle behaviors in him that our Kazekage would not show. Certain movements, certain way he phrases speeches. I'm not too sure, but I feel that is not our Kazekage. All of them looked towards him shocked, as they couldn't believe what he was saying. Could this be reality? None of them knew what to do. Well, one thing is for certain, said Chiu. We cannot allow this to happen until we find anything else more out in proof. This will stay a secret between all of us. We will not allow the hidden sand to fall, especially in these times, where if our village fall below the standards, I'm afraid we will no longer be one of the 5 great nations, as the others gasp, even though they knew this was a reality. Baki, you should go to Konoha and inform the Hokage of this. We need to make sure that we stay on good terms with Leaf. This little mishap will not change our situation. As he looked towards the others who all nodded in agreement. I will do so, he said. They had to get to the bottom of this, and they had to find out what the hell was going on, because this sudden attack made no sense. And all of the council members agreed, so the Kazekage really can be outthrown. But Baki did not believe that was the Kazekage. After all, he was a personal guard of Kazekage, and that man, whoever it was, the subtle difference were there. They were small, but they were there. Time skip. As Mikoto smiled, as she looked towards Naruto. Menma wasn't here this time. Every now and then, Menma and Naruto came over. It seemed like they have a scheduled time, as they hang out with Sasuke and Sesame, but Menma wasn't here. Sasuke had went off with Itachi. Fukaku was taking personal time to train his little princess. Sasuke didn't want much training from his father, because he wanted to prove to his father that he could get strong as well, just like Sesame. That is why he was going to his brother. But Fukaku loved Sesame. She was his little princess after all, and he would train her personally to get stronger. But at the moment he was busy, her training will begin tomorrow. It was the second day after the Chunin exam preliminaries. The finals will begin in a month. As Mikoto was surprised seeing Naruto here, given the fact that Sasuke was not here and Menma wasn't here either. I'm surprised to see you here without Menma, she said. He had other matters, said Naruto. Flashback. As Naruto was currently standing in the garden of his yard. Menma had left, after giving him a warning. Tonight was the night. He was going to tell them once and for all. Menma had left with Yamato to work on his Mokidan. Naruto didn't focus on Mokidan too much, because he had a lot more abilities to focus on. And for right now, he had a lot more that he wanted to focus on than Mokidan. So Menma get personally trained by Yamato. As that was when Naruto felt something, but he did not move. As Jiraiya walked over towards him. Long time no see, brat, he said. As Naruto looked towards Jiraiya. It has been a long time, said Naruto as he did not turn towards the man. He just kept his head straight. So, what have you been up to? You know, this and that, said Naruto. Recently, got through the preliminaries, hoping to get through the finals. Well, I've heard from your father how strong you have gotten over the past couple of months, and he's surely impressed to believe you got this strong so fast, mostly on your own. Well, hard work pays off, doesn't it, said Naruto. Yes it does, said Jiraiya. Where's Menma? I was hoping for the month I could take you two under my wing and personally show you a thing or two. I'm sorry, but you're not needed. What? Said Jiraiya. I don't mean to offend you, said Naruto. But at the moment, there are certain things I want to do that you cannot help me with. And what's that, said Jiraiya. You don't possess the proper bloodline, said Naruto. So I don't require your help. I don't mean this as a disrespect, said Naruto, as he started to walk off. But I'm rather busy, and Menma is busy learning the Mokidan. So I'm afraid you're not needed. Maybe next time. Jiraiya deflated, as the kid just blew him off. Him, a Sanin. Well, he could understand Naruto with his different abilities. But still, He could teach him a few things here and there, although he couldn't make him become the Toad Summoning contract holder, given the fact that he already has a summoning. But still, it kind of hurt, as he wanted to spend some time with his godsons. But it didn't seem like that was gonna happen. In the flashback, as Naruto looked towards Mikato, he's out training personally. I thought you two did everything together. Well, usually, said Naruto. But for the finals, we might end up fighting each other. And we have a month to come with new surprises. Well then, I guess it's just gonna be you and my daughter. Perhaps it might be a date, said Mikato with a smile. As Naruto went silent for a few seconds, she expected him to blush or something, but he did not. Would you want me in your family, Naruto asked. She narrowed her eyes. Are you saying you like my daughter? I'm just speculating, said Naruto. Given your tone, you meant it as a joke. But I'm just curious, he asked. She looked at the boy. Usually, Naruto would laugh. He would smile with her. But now he was different. It was like he aged a couple of years overnight. Menma has changed as well, but not in the way that Naruto has changed. Although Menma's gotten a lot more serious, there was still something there. But Naruto seemed to be someone that has gone through a lot in war and changed for the worse when it comes to his attitude of being happy. It wasn't that he was a bad person to be around, it was just he doesn't seem happy anymore. But because of that, the both of them had gotten an understanding between each other. It was strange. He spoke to her unlike the way he spoke to his mother. And Naruto told her once that he liked her company because she doesn't treat him like the others, worrying over him like he was some kind of fragile glass. She treated him like an actual grown-up. You have truly changed, she said as she looked towards him. Well, you haven't changed that much, said Naruto. In fact, you seem to have gotten more beautiful, he said to her. As Mikato looked towards him, you flatter me, she said. And there it was, that charming side of his that seemed to pop out at any time. It seems like he doesn't even know how to control it. Well, it's not a lie, said Naruto. As he looked towards her, he then turned his head. What took you so long, he asked. As Sesame looked towards him. Sorry about that, she said. I was just getting a few things. And what were you two discussing, she asked. Something private, said Naruto. What? And what could be private that you two were discussing? Asked Sesame. As Mikato simply laughed. What is it, Mom? Well, Naruto and I have a special relationship. You don't mind, do you, honey? What? But when? Well, given the fact that me and Menma are over here a lot recently, I've gotten the time to know your mother, and I must say she's one delightful person. You two are messing with me, right? Said Sesame. Not at all, said Naruto. Now, shall we go, he asked. It was lovely spending time with you, he said, as he gave Mikato a slight bow. As he left, as Sesame looked towards her mother, who just smiled. What? Not going after your boyfriend, she asked. He's not my boyfriend, Sesame said, with a small blush on her face. Given the fact that the both of you are basically going out on a date right now, I wouldn't be so sure. What? It's not a date. We're just friends catching up. If you say so. Have fun, honey, as she kissed her on her forehead. As Mikato walked away, leaving Sesame to dive in her thoughts as she exited. Was this a date? The both of them were here, alone, hanging out. No. As she glanced towards Naruto who had his head, looking forward, the both of them were just gonna get lunch. It's what they usually do with the Sasuke and Menma there, but given the fact that they weren't here now, it was just the two of them. Naruto. I'm sorry, said Naruto. For what, she asked. Recently. I've not been partaking in the friendship, like what I have agreed to the past. I told you that I would find time to be your friend once again. Usually, you and I used to go many places, on the Hokage monument, and do many things. But then when I stopped hating you. Yeah, we really used to hate each other, she said. Yes, seems that way, said Naruto. But things got better since we got in a team, and we started to do team bonding. But we kind of left out Sasuke, said Naruto. Well, he didn't mind, he was busy training with Itachi. Speaking of Itachi, I forgot to ask your mother about him. How has he been? Well, he's been on missions back to back. But when he can, he comes home and he spends time with us. I'm surprised you did not take up his offer to go and train with him as well. Well, my father said that he wanted to teach me a few things. Well, you are the little girl, said Naruto. I'm sure that he wants to make you as ready for the exam as possible. Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to begin our training. What about you? I have a few things to do. Wait, on your own? Yes, said Naruto. You don't need any help? Not really. What about Menma? He's out training. With who, she asks. Yamato, said Naruto. Why didn't you tag along? I mean, he could have helped you with your Mokidan. I do not require that at the moment. I have some different fields I wish to study. And besides, me and Menma might end up fighting each other in the finals. So, we have to come up with some new tricks. Because we fought each other too much. We know what each other can do. Yeah, I guess they're right, she said. You know, we might end up fighting as well. Don't worry. I won't take it easy on you, said Naruto. I hope not, she said. That would be a huge humiliation if you took it easy on me. Of course I would not, said Naruto. After all, I heard that you're the new rising star of the Uchihas. She blushed. Come on, not you too. You have been getting quite strong lately, and your clan has started to notice that. So has Sasuke, she said. But I guess I'm just a bit more stronger. I hate it when people look at me more than him. Why? Well, he's my brother. I love him. And sometimes I just feel bad. My father always praised my strength in front of him. And he never really speak that highly of Sasuke. And I don't like that. You're a truly delightful person, you know that, said Naruto. She paused. What? Well, you're thinking about your brother's sake. And that makes you a truly delightful person in my eyes. That is something I always liked with you. Her cheeks turned red. She saw Naruto stop, as she could not get to say what she was going to say. As they were about to exit the Uchiha compound, but they were stopped. Well, they weren't stopped, Naruto stopped, because standing there was none other than Damien. Damien's face had changed a bit. Not because of, well, him angry or anything. It was because he had his face bandaged, and it did not set properly. After what Naruto did to his face, his nose was kind of crooked to the side. As Sesame sighed, knowing that they were going to catch up in an argument or something. Well, Naruto wasn't going to say anything, but Damien was going to try and prove something. Hey Sesame, Damien said. Hey Damien, she said. He just walked past. She was shocked. What just happened? What do you mean, said Naruto. Well, he didn't try to goad you into an argument. Seems he learned his lesson. About what? Nothing, said Naruto. Let's go. Wait, there's something you're not telling me, she said. Damien did not tell anyone what happened in the Forest of Death. And he told his teammates to keep their damn mouth shut because he felt humiliated. And a part of Naruto just did not care. He did not care if people saw him as the one that defeated Damien or not. After all, he didn't mind it. It's nothing to worry about, said Naruto. Come on, you like to regale your adventures with your female friends. Indulge me. You know, for someone who always looked quite calm, you can really sit down and listen. Well, doesn't that mean that you just talk too much? Hey, watch it, she said. As Naruto cracked a smile. Don't worry, I like it, he said. As she smiled at that. Alright then, let's go. In the back of her mind though, she was wondering, was this really a date? Time skip, later that night. As Naruto stepped out of the bathroom, as he got dressed, making his way downstairs. As his mother was there, and so was Natty, and so was his father. They had the perfect opportunity today to do it because all of them were there. But Naruto refused to say anything, and Menma had been strangely quiet about it. Menma was just like any other Uzumaki, but he had a further fuse. But when it blew, it did blow. That is why. As Snatty, Kushina, and Minato were getting everything ready for dinner, it kind of surprised them when they heard something thrown. As the person crashed hard into the table. The wooden table over to the side as it was broken. As Naruto slowly picked himself up, looking like he was completely fine. What's going on? Asked Kushina. She made her way forward. As Menma stepped down the hall, looking quite pissed off. Tell them, he said. What's happening? Asked Natty. As Naruto simply smiled, "You finally lost your temper. Tell them," Menma said. As Naruto wasn't fighting back, but Menma was truly pissed. "Fine. Can we all eat first?" As Menma narrowed his eyes at him. "Fine. Wait, what's going on?" asked Minato. "Tell us what." "After dinner, father," said Naruto. The look on Naruto's face showed that he will tell them, but Kushina was worried. "Is there something wrong with you? Are you okay?" "What's going on?" she asked. "Menma, what is it?" "After dinner," Menma said. She realized that neither of them were going to say anything, as she started to grumble. And her Uzumaki gene started kicking as well, as she started to get pissed off. They started to eat, but Kushina was tapping her hand on the table. She got up and used her chains and picked up the table as she put it over to the side. Everyone was still in their seat. Talk. She had enough. Naruto sighed. He knew that his mother would blow anytime now. "See what you caused," said Naruto as he looked towards Menma. "What I've caused? You should have told them earlier." "What's going on?" asked Natty. "Are you in some sort of trouble? Is someone after you? Who is it?" "It's nothing like that," said Naruto. "I've been having problems lately, and Menma want me to tell you guys." Kushina scooted closer to him. "About what?" she asked, as Minato narrowed his eyes. "It's been hard to express myself recently." "Express yourself? You mean emotionally?" asked Natty, as Naruto was surprised how quickly she catch on. "Have your emotions been dull lately?" she asked. "How do you know?" Kushina got up as she quickly raced upstairs. "So it's true," said Minato. "Wait, it's true? How do you know what I'm speaking of?" said Naruto. "There's something that has been bothering us lately. Something that your mother found." As Kushina came back with a book. "This. The former user for your eyes said that he had a problem. Well, his main bodyguard said it. That their lord has been showing some different acting his abilities. Like he was forcing himself to smile and to be happy. When questioned about this, he told them that they were correct. But I'm afraid there is nothing else there. No information on what exactly it is." "So, how are you feeling?" she asked. "Do you not feel anything?" As she came closer to him and wrapped her arm around him. This was her baby boy, her son. She knew that something was wrong. She had been fooling herself to think that he was okay, because she wanted him so bad to be okay. "Yes, what's going on?" said Snadia. She came over. She was truly worried. Her grandson. She didn't want him to go through any peril that he's already been going through. Minato tried to be as calm as possible, but he was concerned, as Menma sat there. "I do know that I love you all," said Naruto. "You're my family. But in certain areas, it has become hard to express myself. When I fought Lee, and he refused to give up, I wanted to kill him," said Naruto. "Usually, there's this voice in the back of my head that tells me to stop, but recently, it has been going down even more." Kushina started to cry as she hugged Naruto tightly. She knew that it was happening. She never had solid proof, but she knew that something was wrong. As Naruto got a frown on his face. "Don't cry, mother," he said. "The reason I avoid telling you this is because I don't want you to be angry. I don't want you to be sad. Or feel sorry for me." She bumped him over the head. "You idiot, you're my son. Of course I'll be worried about you," she said. "You know, you're really selfless," said Minato as he looked towards Naruto. "I know if something was wrong, you would keep it to yourself. Because you wouldn't want your mother to worry. You wouldn't want any of us to worry. And I'm guessing you lost your temper because of that, Menma," said Minato as Menma nodded. As Naruto took the book out of his mother's arm and opened it, the page that she was last on. As Naruto's eyes seemed to scan over it. "What is this?" he said. Kushina pulled back. "There's nothing there," said Snatty. "You don't see this?" Naruto asked. They all came closer. "What?" Kushina wiped her eyes. "What are you talking about?" "You really don't see this?" As Naruto pointed towards where he saw the writing. "It's the name of the former leader with these eyes of mine. This color, writing, it's all mixed in different colors. Naruto, I'm sorry but we don't see anything, said Minato. Kushina looked towards his eyes. Your eyes. Perhaps it's written only for you, so that we cannot see. What does it say, said Menma. As Naruto skipped the page, it's talking about his life and his abilities. He said that he will write all of them down. Everything that he learned about his eyes in scrolls. The ones that we have, said Naruto. But here it is. The drawback. As Naruto landed on the page, the emotional state of my eyes is getting worse. As Naruto started to read, lately, I have not been feeling the love of my wife or my children. Lately I feel like a hollow ghost, roaming through my clan even though I'm the leader. I cannot feel the people love, the people support anymore. The Uzumaki's strength, I cannot feel it. We Uzumaki pride ourselves on loving our people, our family, but lately, it's killing me not to feel it. And I feel so terrible. I don't feel like I'm the leader anymore. I don't feel like I'm fit to rule them anymore. As Naruto skipped the page, and it get worse, he said. As he kept on skipping, Kushina started to tear up again, until he stopped. This morning I woke up. I felt happy. In a long while. I don't know what happened. It's different. The love I feel now is so intense that I cried. I cried towards all the missing emotion, something I've been unable to do since this affected me. I've been able to put few things together. My grandma, who I love so much, she died a few days before this started. I don't know if my eyes reacted towards her death in a negative way, but after that, I've started to lose my feeling with my people. But after all this time, it has returned, and I don't know how or what I did, but it has returned to me. If anyone else is reading this, if you have the same eyes as I am so sorry, fellow Uzumaki, that I'm unable to give you more detail on how it happened. But I've left behind in all the pages I document every day what happened through my life, but yet I still cannot find a reason how I've got back my feelings. Perhaps it's temporary, and it's just a long while before my feeling returned back. But this took me over 5 years. I'm unsure if it will take you longer or less time. I'm not even sure what caused this reaction in me, so I'm sorry. Snatty frowned. 5 years? As she looked towards Naruto, who stopped reading. Well then, seems it's temporary. But Naruto-kun, he said it took him 5 years to return back to normal. We don't even know what this is or how long it will take you to get back to normal. As Kushina held on to him tight. It will be alright, mother, said Naruto. As Naruto flipped towards another page. Here. Despite unable to feel anything, he said once he was with his family, he knew what the feelings were. Despite not feeling them, he knew that he loved them. And he will always love them no matter what. And that's just like me, said Naruto as he smiled. As the smile was forced because he really stopped acting on feelings. I will always love you, mother, father, grandmother, brother, said Naruto. You have nothing to worry about. As Minato was troubled by the news. Time skip. This is the reason why Naruto didn't want to tell them in the first place. Ever since he told them what happened, they have gotten worse. He didn't hate it, but he didn't like it either. His mother could be quite forceful when she wanted to be. And now Minato was put in a bad situation where he had to go sleep in one of the guest rooms. Because Kushina took Naruto in her bed. She believed the closest she was to him, perhaps she could spark back the love back into him or something. She was hoping, and Naruto didn't want to break her hope. So, he just went with it. So for the next couple of weeks, he was stuck with her hugging him. Menma thought that he was going to get out of it, but Naruto had forcefully dragged him in there as well. and their mother insisted that he sleep in there as well. So both arms were wrapped around both of them, as she slept in the middle peacefully, as Naruto slipped out of her grip silently. As Minma was still asleep, as Naruto got to his feet, he hated this. As much as they tried, his grandmother was trying to be there more for him. She was already there more enough. Every time she come by, every time she was there, she helped him. Either in medical ninjutsu, or when it comes towards her physical strength, she was the one who taught them in that area, and she was always there no matter what. And his father tried, despite having busy meetings some time and a lot of paperwork, his father tried his best to be there for them. But now they were getting more and more obsessed with him, something that Minma caused. Although Naruto was trying to figure out if this would help him in any way, and he hated telling his mother that nothing changed whenever she asked him. He hated seeing that look of deflation on her face. He hated it so much. Minma was trying to be there for him as well, even though Naruto told him that they would just have to wait. Not even the previous user could tell how this happened. He didn't know if he would find out. Sometime earlier at Kumo, the Raikage was currently sitting down. The man was thinking over everything that Yujito had sent him. He would not go to Konoha finals. He would send someone in his place, and that would be Garui. But still, this boy, he had the eyes. The Raikage remembered his father's last few words when he was there. When he told him about what happened when they went to take on the Uzumakis, and the leader stood up to him, a man that was able to take down thousands of ninjas, 3 Biju, and 3 Kages, but he did not kill the Kages. That was surely impressive. And this boy, Naruto Senju Uzumaki, whatever you want to call him, had those eyes. He gave Yujito a strict order. If she fought him in the finals, she was supposed to kill him. No holding back. Go for the kill, no matter what. He couldn't have another person run around the elemental nation being as strong as Minato. Not to mention kill the other one as well, Minma. The Raikage was immensely disappointed in Ryu. One hit, that was all it took. And none of them knew what Minma or Naruto could do when it comes towards ability in ninjutsu. That is why their orders were to kill Naruto and Minma. Samui and Yujito, that were their orders. The same can be said for the Tachikage. Well, you know what to do now, said Oniki as he looked towards Kurasuke. Don't worry, old man. He might be strong, but I can still take him down. He is still less experienced than me. And I'll make sure I put him down so he won't get back up. And if I get a chance to fight the other as well, I'll take him down. But for right now, Akisaki is the first one taking him on. And he's gonna crush him. I'm counting on you. I'm not going to be attending the exams, and you already know why. I'm gonna be sending someone in my stead. As she nodded. Don't worry, Gramps. I'll bring back good news for you. When I do come back, you will hear that the threat has been taken care of. We cannot afford Konoha to keep on rising with so many strong ninjas. The Hidden Stone will always prevail, she said. The man nodded, fitting, for the new Tachikage. He could already see it in her, although he was gonna hold on for a bit more. Time skip. As the weeks fly by rather quickly, Jiraiya came by every now and then when Naruto was practicing with seals. Given that his mother was spending much more time with him, he decided to take her brain and pick it a bit when it comes towards Fuinjutsu. As Jiraiya was shocked, well, there was something that Jiraiya could help Naruto with, and that was seals. The man was known as a seal master. Jiraiya was delighted when Minma came by as well, as he started to help the both of them in what he knew in seals. And he had to say he understood why Minato was so proud. The kids picked up rather easily. The days flew by, and the day finally came, and it was time for the Chunin exams. Many plans had been set. Many things had been done because Baki had come to Konoha and speak to Minato about the Kazekage. And at this moment, a plan was set. The San was given news that shocked them, as Minato had a suspicion what exactly is going on. And the Sound, given the fact that Orochimaru was said to be at the Hidden Sound from Jiraiya, they put 2 and 2 together. So a plan had been set, and Orochimaru, who was disguised as Kazekage, had no idea what was going to happen. He thought that he was gonna make Konoha fall. Well, that was his big goal. So, the day finally came, as the arena was ram-packed. Hundreds of people. As everyone had came by. Everyone had came to watch the prodigies battle it out. Most people are here for Naruto and Menma after all. They were the son of the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze. And many people in this world respected Minato for his power, his strength, his intellect. And it said that his sons were growing to be splendid shinobis just like him. Not only that, they were here to see the prodigies of the Uchiha clan. The two uprising prodigies, brother and sister. Everyone was here to impart in the delightful battles. Daimyos, high dignitaries, many people are here. Except for Naruto and Menma, who hasn't seemed to arrive yet. Everyone else were there though. Given that it's their village, you'd think they would at least show their faces, said Kurosaki, as she glanced around as they were in the crowd. All of the students were gathered, right in front of the proctor, who was Hayate. Gaara was there. Shikamaru, Temari, Sasuke, Seisumi, Yujito, Samui. All of them were there, Neji. All of them gathered at Kisaki. As Gaara was looking around, Naruto was supposed to be his opponent. They had drawn their number, and Naruto and him were going to fight in the second match, and he didn't see him. Something that was ticking Gaara off. He wanted to fight him ever since he saw that battle with him and Lee. His mother wanted his blood, and Gaara wanted it. But yet he did not see him around, something that was aggravating Gaara. Temari and Conqueror noticed that Gaara was gonna snap at any moment, but yet the Senju was not here. Neither of them were here. As Minato stepped up on the podium, beside him was C, a representation from the Kumo. As the man was sitting down there, over to the other side was the Kazekage. Beside the Kazekage was a man named Makoto, as he was from the Hidden Stone. Tsunade and Kushina were currently standing at the Senju section. Given the fact that Kushina was pregnant, Tsunade was being rather protective over her, as they all knew what was going to happen, but Kushina had insisted that she could handle herself same way. But they were all ready, not to mention the entire place had been set up. This place was a whole big trap for Orochimaru. He thought that he had this lock. Jiraiya was on top of the roof, calmly sitting down. His intellect had been spot on, that Orochimaru has been seen a lot in the Hidden Zone. And the fact that Kazekage suddenly wanted to befriend the Stone Village did not strike him as a coincidence. As Jiraiya was ready for anything, all of them were ready, including the Sand Ninjas. Everyone were informed. Minato got up as he started to speak to everyone. He noticed that his two sons weren't there, but they weren't going to be fighting his first match, just a second, that for Naruto. And Menma was going to face off against Akisaki in the fourth match. As Minato started to give his speech, he gathered everyone's attention, as everyone is bubbling on their seats. Once he was done, he nodded to Hayate, who started to go over the rules with the Jennings. Over to the side, people started to bet. I bet on Naruto. I heard he's stronger than his brother. I heard he did quite a wreck inside the preliminaries. I heard that Menma knocked out this Kumo ninja with one punch. So I'll bet on him. I think I'm gonna bet on the Uchiha. The both of them. Who knows? They might surprise us. If they're anything like their brother, they have a good chance of winning this all. You all don't know what you're talking about. I'm betting everything on Naruto. That kid is surely something. Just watch. You're all gonna see why soon enough. As the two gate guards were listening to all of this, there were a lot of money being bet. Not just between normal civilians, but dignitaries as well. Even the daimyo started the bet with the other daimyo. The wind daimyo and the fire daimyo. That was a truly shocking event. Well, things were peaceful right now, and they could afford to indulge. I'm not seeing your sons out there, Hokage-dano, said Darui. Don't they know that it's proper etiquette to be early? Trust me, They will be on time, said Minato. Well, they should be, said the Kazekage. Most people are here to see them, and I want to see all my Gaara face off against your boy. You have nothing to worry about, said Minato, as cool as ever. Everything will work out in the end. All this talking, just for Kurosaki and Nakisaki, to put them all in their place. You're quite confident you're a ninja, aren't you? Said Darui as he looked over. Of course, Makoto said. You just watch and see. The Hidden Stone will win this all. Even in different villages, the Hidden Stone shall triumph no matter what. But everyone did not say anything on that regard, as they seemed to choose to ignore him, something that pissed Makoto off. Alright, the first match was gonna be Shikamaru Nara versus Tamara of the Sand. Everyone else made their way. You have any idea where Naruto and Menma is? Asked Sasuke. They're gonna miss it. I doubt it, said Seisemi. After everything they've been through. Just to go through that all to miss this. You're speaking like they're important or something. They're just a couple of brats, said Kurosaki. Not everyone came here to see them. Do anyone even know you? Sasuke asked. What? I mean, you're saying no one came to see them. Who came to see you? Sasuke asked. He'll be damned if this Stone Ninja disrespect his friends like that. Once I put you all in your place, she says she clenched her fists. You all will know my name, and you better not forget it. Sasuke just snorted. Yeah, keep on running your mouth. I'll make sure to put the hurt on you, Uchiha. What's your mouth to my brother? Said Seisemi. Oh, and what are you gonna do about it? Kurosaki. That's enough, said Akisaki. You will find them in the arena. Yeah, you're right, Akisaki. I'll see you guys in the arena. She said she walked forward. What a bitch, Sasuke said. Sasuke, said Seisemi. Am I wrong? I guess not, said Seisemi. Come on, let's go. As the match began between Shikamaru and Temari. Shikamaru seemed really withdrawn, like he didn't want to participate. As he heard Ino yelling his name, he sighed. Troublesome woman. You talking to me? Said Temari. Shikamaru sighed as she started to shout at him, as he was having a rather nasty headache with her talking. He could be home right now just watching the clothes, or could be lying in this arena watching the clothes. He didn't even hear when the proctor said begin. As he moved though, as ground was obliterated by a giant fan. Their match started as Shikamaru was able to use division tactics and hid, because her fan wind attacks were devastating and ripped through the trees in the arena. But in the end, Shikamaru captured her, using a clever trick, as the judges over to the side saw how brilliant this boy was. Well, he was a Nara, what do you expect? Naras were always smart. But in the end, Shikamaru gave up, seeing that he was low on chakra, and it proved itself when his chakra suddenly finished out on him as his jutsu came to an end. Temari was declared the winner. Well, he certainly had the chops for being a Chunin, said Darui, but he's a bit lazy. Too lazy, if I must say, said Mikado. Well, that's how Naras are. Am I wrong? Okage-dono, said the Kazekage. You're not wrong there, Kazekage-dono, said Minato. As calm as ever, Orochimaru smiled. Things were going more perfect than he expected. The Sand Village wouldn't dare disobey their Kazekage, so they fall in line as soon as he took the mantle. Well then, it's time. As the next opponent was called, Gaara came out to the field and stand Shunshin, with a rather furious look on his face as he did not see his opponent anywhere. Well, Hokage-dono, said Darui. Seems they're late. Perhaps. People are gonna get angry about this. As he said that, he started to hear the shouts. Naruto Senju! As people started to shout out Naruto's name for him to arrive. It was like they called him from somewhere, as suddenly the wind started to pick up. A violent storm appeared in the arena, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. The windstorm exploded outwards, as dust and debris picked up everywhere. When it vanished, Gaara smiled, a rather devilish smile. Standing there, in all of his might was Menma, as he had on his armor, as he seemed to have been nuked and tampered with just a bit, with his black cloak over that. And beside Menma was the man, the one and only Naruto Senju, here. The throwdown, his hair was tied up in a ponytail. He was wearing his armor and seemed to have also been tampered with a bit. Something was just different about it. And he didn't have on his black cloak like Minma. As Minma nodded, he flashed away. The next second, Minma was in the box. "Right on time," said Sesame. "You know we wouldn't miss this." "You made it right on time," said Hayate. "It's the same rule from the preliminaries. I hope you understand. You have nothing to worry about." "Let's start this already," said Gaara. "Quite jumpy, are we?" "Well, let's get right down to it. The people have waited for you." As the cheers exploded outwards, as everyone then settled down, ready to see this match. "Alright, begin." Gaara wastes no time. "I've been waiting for this," he says. He licked his lips, happily, bloodthirsty as he released a dose of killing intent that swallowed the entire arena. Yet, Naruto was completely unfazed. A strong-willed one, that one, thinking that he can face Gaara. No offense, but if your brother continues to think that he's that powerful, he's gonna die. Gaara's gonna crush him, said Kankuro. Seems you're mistaken about who's gonna get crushed. Your brother might be strong, said Tamari, but trust me, he's no match for Gaara. Back down to the arena, Gaara raised his hand as San shot forward in a hand to grab Naruto. As Naruto stood where he was, as he did not move as the hand came dropping down on him. Kushina saw the flicker with her eyes, as she smiled. As Natty pumped her fist in the air. "Well, did you have any doubt?" asked Natty. "Of course not. He's my Stashi after all. He'll win this, no doubt." There was no tailed beasts here that could stop Naruto. As Naruto came prepared, more than prepared. Perhaps that is why he took so long. Kushina heard from Jiraiya and her husband that, as she glanced towards the box where the kids were, that girl there might be the two-tailed host, and that boy there is the one-tailed Jinchuriki. But it did not matter. Naruto had the speed to catch them before they did anything. She knew her son was powerful, incredibly so, and he was just going to grow even more. But the thought of that made her sad because perhaps the more he grew, perhaps the more he lost touch with his emotions. Something that she did not want to happen, but she will make sure to hug him every night. Even though he didn't like it that much, but he loved her so much he would never told her no. That was something she loved about him. She would make sure that he feel the warmth and love of his family, so that he would return to them back with full force. She would make sure of it, she said to herself, as she held her to her stomach. As she was gonna have a girl. Her little girl would know her big brother, and he would love her and she would love him too. Meanwhile, as Gaara saw there was nothing in his hand, the sand hand, as he turned and fired a wave of sand that crashed into the arena wall. Something was splattered, but then a sizable explosion went off, blowing away his sand as Gaara had to bring up a sand shield. As debris was sent flying forward, as they pierced into his sand, Gaara was shocked. They were coated with something powerful. As Gaara took his eyes off the prize for a moment, not glancing around, that is when he felt the presence. For once, Gaara felt something itching at the back of his spine. A chill that went down his spine and he felt something appear behind him in a speed that he didn't even see completely. It caught him off guard. "Sorry," said Naruto in a calm voice. "But to make sure the other nations know that we're not someone to trifle with, I'm gonna have to hurt you really badly." That sorry was just a false statement. The next moment, Gaara puked blood as a boot. As Naruto turned and crushed his feet into his stomach, Gaara was shocked by the intense force that rocked his body. Temari and Kankuro's eyes went wide when Gaara was picked off his feet, as the force was so powerful that the sand armor on his body cracked and exploded, showing his real skin, as Gaara was sent like a bullet as he slammed into the wall. As Gaara collapsed face first, but the hit was painful, so painful that Gaara lost it. After all, he wasn't used to pain, so feeling this amount of pain and the speed that was behind it shocked Gaara into something animalistic, something wild, something deadly. As things were getting heated up, yet Naruto was unfazed, calm as ever. But guys, if you in subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications to be posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.